Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga etc. and I'm here today to bring you the review for My Hero Academia manga chapter 320. And now, if you watched my review from last week, you would know that I was coming into this chapter very excited. I even considered recording a live reaction, but I'm glad I didn't, because at the end of the day I was just filled with disappointment. And now I saw the name of the chapter, Deku Vs Class A. I was like, oh, I don't want to rub my hands, it's a bit hot and sweaty today, but I was like, oh yeah, things are gonna get good. Things are going to get good. I went into the chapter excited, good to go. But shortly after, like I said, disappointment started to hit home. So Deku decided not to fight. He decided to run. Not out of the realms of possibilities. I'm surprised I never thought of it myself, actually, because it didn't take me by surprise that Deku ran. I just feel like it's not the best route we should have taken, because as you see within the chapter, we have Deku run, and then one after another he encounters member of his class, and they the thing is, I don't want to say they stalled. I don't want to say like they stalled him for a bit, because it's a thing where they capture him for a second, he breaks out of it, we move on to the next person. And now that's essentially what the chapter was about. And we get through, I see, like half the class, I'm guessing, half the class, and I'm guessing, the other half of the class will follow next week. But I just wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't feeling it. And what I wasn't feeling was the fact that with Deku so beefed up, so powered up right now, with the members that he was coming across within this chapter, I feel like even if it's caught him off guard, even though like because you could argue that Class A had prep time or whatever, but like whatever, but I feel like Deku is at a place now where he's so beefed up, where the members that he was facing within this episode should not be giving him any trouble whatsoever. And that's what I wasn't feeling the most. But there were certain things where when you got into the speeches and what they were saying, I just wasn't feeling that either, man. Like, for example, this is a poor example to start with, but for example, one of the first people Deku comes across is I think his name's Koda, the guy who can speak to the animals. And it's like, oh Deku, you should come back. The principal says it's okay, and I'm thinking to myself, just get out of here. You're a side character. I don't want to say nobody likes you, but you're not a fan favorite. You've got little to any growth, development, story, character. So when that came across, I was just like, get out of here, man. And an even better example of this was when you have the tail guy. I forget his name, but when you have him come across and he's like, oh, do you remember when you got so mad for me over the whole Shinza incident? I was thinking, wait, what? Really? Was it really that deep? I'm like, no, get out of here, man. And it's just, I feel like I'm not the only one that's gonna feel this way. The less popular the character, the less relevant the character of Class A, the less relevant they have been within the series, I reckon the less you felt the impact of their little moment with Deku within this episode. Because, like, for example, one of the last ones, Froppy, yeah? She's not necessarily my favorite of Class A. Probably not even in the top 5. But she would definitely scrape. Actually, I think she might be top 5 actually. But but regardless of that, she's somewhere within top 5 and top 10. Yeah. So, and I felt her more impact, say someone like Coda, for example, where boy, I wouldn't even know where to place Coda in my favorites for my favorites. So like Class A is a class of 20. So Coda would be like Coda could possibly be 20. because we don't get nothing from him. So I couldn't feel for his bit within this chapter. So that's essentially everything I got to say about this chapter. The approach that the mangaka decided to take in regards to this fight, not necessarily incorrect. He just could have done it better. He just could. It could have been better. I honestly feel like we should have gone the route where, even if Deku doesn't want, clearly he did not want to fight, clearly, but you can fight and not want to fight. And essentially, I feel that Deku should have taken out the further members of Class A. You know who they are. I don't need to mention them. I mentioned who should have been left remaining last week, and take them out and then run. Because now I feel like I kind of feel like this whole, because they're gonna win him over. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. They're gonna win him over. I kind of feel like that this has been stretched out more than it should be. You could argue if there was a fight, it would take 2 chapters. You could argue that. But if you did it the fight way, it would have been more exciting than doing it hit the Deku running way. Because now I just feel like I've been cheated, man. I feel like I've been cheated out of some excitement. And in all honesty, I don't fault it. It's not a complete surprise that Deku ran, but I just wish it wasn't the route that we took. So it's for those reasons that I'm only giving this chapter a 2-star rating. Like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.